Hey guys, welcome to New Zealand's biggest gap here. This is an epic challenge that Laura and I decided to tackle about 2 years ago. We have to do 365 activities all around New Zealand in only 365 days. This is day 68 and we are still going strong. We are in Makoura Lodge, right in the heart of the Manawatu Gorge, and we're going to be doing a 4-wheel drive tour. Check in with me at the end of the video where I'm going to be answering all the questions that we received the first time that we published the video. See you then.
Today, we are waking up in the beautiful Makoura Lodge, in the beautiful surroundings of the Ruahine Ranges. We are in the middle of nowhere, and it's great to wake up, literally, away from everything.
So we're in Makoura Lodge today with you that is going to take us 4-wheel driving and see the whole estate. He says he's going to make it rough for us, so we'll see what happens, and we'll see if we survive. We are about 2 minutes in and there's already some pretty epic views.
On the way up, we're following a nice hill up, and we just look to the side and get an awesome view of the lodge and all the surroundings. This is such a stunning location.
It's like downhill mountain biking.
Yeah.
We are taking the drive to some 4-wheel drive training tracks because at Makoura Lodge they do 4-wheel drive training on all these different sorts of tracks of different abilities and difficulties. Even the New Zealand police force come here to train how to drive with 4-wheel drive here.
So this area here we call the axle twister. It's a series of humps and hollows we put on here.
Yeah.
But it's just to teach drivers to send you going through on a straight line to keep the steering wheel straight instead of going this way and that way over each hump and hollow, and that's when you'll get immobilised.
The first thing that we noticed when we arrived down there is that there's a lot of different tracks and they all have different kind of names and they all vary in difficulties. So you is going to start from the easiest and going to go up to the hardest and kind of show us, like, you know, all those things that you can do with your classic mom and pop car.
This track is to show you to not listen to your instincts, but to do something else, to be skillful at driving 4-wheel drive trucks.
So we're basically being pushed on one side and then the other, and then on one side and on the other. And you, which is like, you know, literally retired now, he's just on the drive and he's having a blast. The man just sees us like moving and bouncing and everywhere, and he's just straight as a T, not moving, super professional, and just like, I've done that one lap. It's like, it's this everyday shopping drive right here. It's ridiculous.
And the cool thing about this training center as well is it sort of reminds me of like downhill mountain biking or like a ski field where you have all these different named tracks of varying difficulty, like the axle twister, we've got the water slide, we've got the concrete wall. It's pretty crazy, and because we've had so much rainfall recently, the track is caked in mud.
It feels like we're literally inside Toyota advertisement right now. You know, like every time there is those advertisement, the car is doing some amazing tricks in the middle of beautiful location. Well, this is exactly what's happening right now. It's pretty intense.
And this is just the beginning. Next, we are going right down the hill. We are even going up the side of hills and going around corners that look way too narrowed for this huge effing vehicle to fit through, but no, Hugh goes round. So we get to this section where literally it is like a near vertical rock wall, which is what the track is called. And we're like, we are not going up that, are we? And Hugh's like, I'm not sure if we'll make it up, but we can give it a go. And I just ask him like, well, if you just give it a go, what happens if you, you know, get halfway up there and what happens then if you can't get up to the top? And he just says, well, we'll just slide back down again. Okay.
Oh, we should better go down backwards, eh?
What? And then all we can do is say bloody Kiwis, and then he just drives back down. And he says at this point, the best thing to do is just let the car just roll back down and do not hit the brakes, because then the brakes will lock and that's when you can have an accident. So it's good to know that any slight mistake could have us like rolling down the hill at any moment, but no, you know, just let go of the brakes, just let the car do its thing is apparently the way to go. So, you know those handles on the side of all cars which you never really use? Well,
I'm falling in love with this little holder right here, this handle right here. This is my new best friend right here.
So seeing this guy taking this ute around everywhere he wants is just pretty impressive. I mean, Laura and I are having a blast. I mean, we are laughing like kids. It's ridiculous.
back to the Makoura Lodge. This is such a nice lodge. It has a fireplace, and we are pretty much stuck to the fireplace the whole afternoon. Robin is making some venison burgers tonight, and obviously because he says like, oh, we'll make food for you tonight, that was a we, not an I, so obviously I'm helping. But because Robin has a very specific recipe he wants to make, I am just his kitchen bitch for tonight. And then Robin pipes up saying, I'm making venison burger tonight. In my home country. In my home country, we make camembert. I can't do French accent for shit.
Alright, so first up, for those that don't know, Manawatu Gorge, it's basically below Palmerston North and above Wellington. It's right kind of like in between those two areas, and it's on the north island of New Zealand. So there's a lot of people that were asking, well, where is this area, what is this place and everything. So I do know that's a place that a lot of people forget when traveling around New Zealand, because it's just, you know, from one point of interest to the other. So in all fairness, usually what happens to people is that they do kind of like the Tongariro crossing, which is kind of almost right in the middle of the North Island, and then it's a straight drive all the way down to Wellington. And that's kind of one of the reasons why we decided to kind of take a little bit more time to explore this area. You've seen that in the last kind of 2-3 videos, and you'll see a few more, you know, before we reach Wellington. And that's to show you that there is still a lot of things to do there, and you don't have to make it a dreadfully long drive in between, you know, those 2 points of interest. You can stop along the way and explore a lot of places. We really love to show you a lot of different places in New Zealand, and a lot of places that a lot of people don't talk about when they kind of give travel advice. And this is why we created NZPocketGuide.com. There is a link to this website in the description of this video. It's entirely free to use, and it's the largest travel guide to New Zealand. That's what Laura and I do for a living. And if you do plan a trip to New Zealand at the moment and you want to ask us some questions about traveling in New Zealand, you can do so. It's really easy. You can put your questions in the comments of any of our videos, and we usually answer them, or we answer them during our live session. And the live session is a great place to hang out with us. It happens on this couch over there, and it's every Sunday at 8 AM New Zealand time. There's a link in the description below as well to tell you what time it is in your side of the world. Now, during this live session, we take about an hour to literally read the live chat. You guys ask us questions and we answer them for you. And there's a ton of people that come to plan their trip to New Zealand. It's a great place to kind of exchange travel tips and talk about traveling in New Zealand. So if you want to do that, it's kind of awesome. Anyway, let's go over the question that we had. We only had one question on this video, which is quite handy, and it was about you know, asking if we got to drive the truck. We didn't get to drive the truck. Usually it really depends on like what kind of tours you are on, but usually obviously the professional driver will be doing that, except if it's kind of a hands-on tour where you have to do that. And later on during New Zealand's biggest gap year, we will be driving ourselves around some awesome tracks that is going to be in Greymouth, so don't miss that out. And that's going to be more like kind of buggy style. That's not going to be a full car that we got to drive. And to be quite honest, you know, when seeing him drive and, you know, like all the craziness that the truck was doing, I don't think I will have the skills to drive it. You saw the episode last time where I was trying to make my way to Makoura Lodge, and that was already kind of a bit of a challenge. Admittedly, I was driving a full RV, but you know, it's kind of still something to think about when taking the hand of you know, taking the wheels of a vehicle. Just saying, I'm not necessarily the best driver. You know, I'm a very cautious driver, and I don't know if I will have had the skills to do that. So I think I'm happy to just watch the professional do their job and just kind of sit and relax and kind of just pull some funny faces because the car is going vertical rather than horizontal. Anyway, overall it was a really fun experience, and during the next episode of New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year, I'm just learning to speak a little slower. We will actually stay in Makoura Lodge and we have some more stuff to do. So check out that video a little bit later. If you want to be notified when that video comes out, you can hit subscribe. If you want to say thank you for all the hard work, you can hit the like button. And in the meantime, stay safe, have fun, be happy, and be kind. Bye bye.